Ladies and gentlemen, meet Shohei Ohtani, without a doubt the most electrifying spectacle in the entire world of sports. Cue the intro sequence. He recently inked the single biggest paycheck in the history of American athletics, yet the way he actually lives his life is going to catch you completely off guard. To understand the legend, we have to go back to the beginning. The story starts in the quiet rural landscapes of Oshu, located in Japan's northern Awate Prefecture, where a future icon arrived on July 5, 1994. Athleticism runs deep in his DNA. His mother Kayoko competed professionally in badminton, while his father Toru was an outfielder in Japan's semi-pro industrial league. Growing up, Shohei was the baby of the family, the youngest of 3 siblings. In Japan, there is a term for kids like him, Yakyu Shonen. It describes a boy who doesn't just play the game, he sleeps, eats, and breathes it. His father put a ball in his hand early on, and from that moment, Shohei developed a relentless obsession with the sport. During his teenage years at Hanamaki Higashi High School, he wasn't just a baseball prodigy. Surprisingly, he was also a standout swimmer, but the diamond was his calling. By the time he was 18, he was hurling fastballs at 99 miles per hour, shattering records for Japanese high school pitchers. Most players dream of the local leagues first, but Ohtani had bigger sights. He made it clear he wanted to skip the Japanese pros entirely and head straight for the majors, drawing massive attention from scouts across the United States. On October 21, 2012, he dropped a bombshell announcement he intended to bypass the NPB and launch his career in America immediately. Despite this declaration, the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters took a gamble and drafted him anyway in the 2012 draft. The Fighters didn't give up. After some intense negotiations, they pitched him a unique proposal sign with "Us develop here for a few years, and we will let you do something the Los Angeles Dodgers wouldn't. We will let you pitch and hit." That promise to let him play both ways sealed the deal. Let's dive into those formative professional years. At the tender age of 18, Ohtani stepped onto the field for the Fighters, debuting not just on the mound, but as a right fielder. His rookie pitching stats showed a 3-0 record, but he struggled at the plate with a batting average of just .238. He even faced a tough lesson from future Yankee Masahiro Tanaka, who absolutely owned him that year. However, his sophomore season was a breakout, making him the first player in Japanese history to hit double digits in both wins and home runs. Then came the All-Star game that same year, where he unleashed something terrifying. Yes, you saw that right. He fired a rocket that became the officially recorded fastest pitch ever thrown by a Japanese athlete. By the next season, he was untouchable, leading the league in wins and winning percentage. But 2016, that was in a stratosphere of its own. He was the undisputed choice for the Pacific League Most Valuable Player award, rewriting the record books yet again. After conquering Japan, the MLB dream could no longer wait. In November of 2017, the Japanese and American leagues finalized a posting agreement specifically to bring this phenomenon to the States. The Los Angeles Angels won the sweepstakes, paying a hefty $20 million posting fee to the Fighters. This marked the conclusion of his legendary run in the NPB. Now it is time to break down his career and achievements in the big leagues. On December 8, 2017, the deal was official. Ohtani signed with the Angels, accepting a signing bonus of $2,315,000 a steal for a talent of his caliber. Fast forward to April, he took the mound for his debut and silenced the doubters, immediately fanning 6 batters to secure his first MLB victory. Just 48 hours later, he smashed his very first major league home run. The show had begun. His rookie campaign was historic. He joined the immortal Babe Ruth as the only players in history to log 10 pitching appearances and crush 20 home runs in a single season. Naturally, he walked away with the American League Rookie of the Year trophy. Even major surgery couldn't stop him. After rehabbing from a Tommy John procedure, he returned to the plate and became the first Japanese-born player in MLB history to hit for the cycle. The next chapter, however, had a rocky start. After almost 2 years away from the mound, Ohtani attempted a pitching comeback against the Oakland Athletics. It was a disaster. He gave up 5 runs and was pulled from the game before he could even record a single out. A flexor strain injury ended his pitching hopes for the remainder of that season. That failure lit a fire under him. During the offseason, he overhauled his entire regimen. He tweaked his diet, hit the squat rack with a vengeance, and packed on muscle, bulking up to 225 pounds. The result, by June, he was the first pitcher ever voted into the Home Run Derby. 5 days later, things got even crazier. In a move that confused historians, Ohtani batted for himself while pitching despite the designated hitter rules. It was the first time an American League team voluntarily waived the DH spot while a National League team used one. The history-making continued the very next month when he became the first human being ever selected as an All-Star, as both a position player and a pitcher simultaneously. He capped off 2021 with the American League MVP and Silver Slugger awards, but 2022 brought even more innovation. The league actually changed the rules for him, allowing a pitcher to stay in the batting lineup as a DH even after being pulled from the mound. He celebrated that May by blasting the first Grand Slam of his career. 1 month later, he was unhittable, racking up a career-high 13 strikeouts to carry the Angels to victory over the Royals. He wrapped up the 2022 season with a 15-9 pitching record and 34 homers. Then came June of the next season, where he played what might be the greatest individual game ever seen. He smashed a home run in the first inning, struck out 10 batters on the mound, and then in the bottom of the 7th, well, magic happened. For 3 consecutive years, he was an all-star dual threat. Later that month, he threw his first complete game shutout against the Tigers. Then exactly 1 year to the day of his first Grand Slam, he launched his second one. Tragically, a tear in his UCL ended his season early yet again. Ohtani hit free agency and proceeded to sign the most mind-boggling contract in the history of organized sports. But before we get to the money, we have to talk about his exploits on the world stage at the 2023 World Baseball Classic. He was a man among boys, batting an absurd .435 while pitching to a microscopic 1.86 ERA. The championship-winning moment, however, was like a movie script with a twist. 2 outs top of the 9th inning, and he found himself staring down a very familiar face. In a clash of titans, he struck out his own teammate and close friend to clinch the title for Japan. It stands as one of the most iconic moments in baseball lore, and Ohtani himself called it the absolute highlight of his life. Now let's shift gears to the financials, his contracts, and brand empires. He recently put pen to paper on the biggest deal ever, but the structure is not what you might expect. First, let's rewind to his rookie earnings. When he first joined the Nippon-Ham Fighters, he got a $1.2 million bonus and the max rookie salary of $150,000. By 2016, he had earned a raise to a $2.37 million extension. The move to America complicated his bank account. Because he was under 25 and hadn't played 6 pro years, the MLB classified him as an amateur. This forced him to accept a minor league entry-level deal. He was locked out of free agency until after the 2023 season, so at 23 years old, he joined the Angels for a $2.3 million bonus and a modest rookie wage of $535,000. That bumped up to $650,000 in 2019 and $700,000 in 2020. Finally, after his 4th year, he avoided arbitration by signing a 2-year bridge deal worth $8.5 million. That was just a warm-up. In his final year of arbitration before hitting the open market, the Angels paid him $30 million for a single season. But $30 million is pocket change compared to what came next. In December 2023, Ohtani shattered the ceiling with a record-obliterating $700 million contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. It stands as the richest contract in North American sports history. The perks even include a private luxury suite for his use at every single home game. But there is a massive catch involved. In a stunning move, Ohtani chose to defer over 97% of that salary. For the next 10 years in LA, he will only pocket $2 million annually, allowing the Dodgers to dodge a massive luxury tax hit. This financial wizardry gives the team the flexibility to stack the roster and maximize their chances of winning World Series rings. But do not cry for his wallet, he is doing just fine. ESPN reports that he rakes in an estimated $45 million every year just from endorsements. His portfolio includes heavy hitters like Seiko Fanatics, New Balance, and Topps. He even scored a nice payday for gracing the cover of MLB The Show in 2022. So with all that cash flowing in, where does it all go? As one of the highest earning athletes to ever walk the planet, he has treated himself to a few toys. One of his first major splurges was a sleek Tesla Model X. That electric ride set him back $78,000. Later, he upgraded to a Porsche 911, costing around $131,000. He also sports a tasteful watch collection, including a Grand Seiko model that retails for $9,100. Shohei Ohtani smashed his way to millionaire status before he even left his teenage years, a time when most kids are just figuring out college. But here is the kicker: while his peers might have blown that cash on flashy rides and bling, Shohei went complete monk mode. No yachts, no mansions, just pure unadulterated focus. He literally handed the keys to his fortune over to his mother, living on a strict allowance of just $1,000 a month like a broke university student. Why? Because every single second of his existence is dedicated to the diamond. Even off the field, his mind is locked in on the game. This guy treats sleep like a competitive sport, clocking in over 10 hours of shut-eye daily to recharge that superhuman engine. He even schedules tactical naps into his training regimen. And get this, he uses custom-engineered pillows perfectly stuffed to exact specifications just to protect his throwing shoulder and neck while he dreams of home runs. Beyond his native Japanese, he holds a surprising secret card in his deck. Former teammates have revealed that Shohei actually speaks better Spanish than English, but he is grinding to level up his language skills using video game sessions with the squad, not just for fun, but as a high-tech immersive English lesson. When he finally steps away from the controller, you can catch him analyzing gridiron tactics while watching the NFL. He is also a regular spectator at NHL showdowns, showing up to support his buddy Brandon Montour and proving that real recognize real across all major sports. Don't let the humility fool you. The man knows how to dress. He has graced the pages of GQ, proving he can crush a photo shoot just as hard as a fastball. But aside from those rare glimpses of glam, Shohei is a master of staying in the shadows, generally avoiding the typical superstar drama until now. Despite his quiet demeanor, the media machine is always hungry. His choice to use an interpreter has triggered some loud voices in the industry, sparking heated debates that have absolutely nothing to do with his batting average. Back in 2021, Stephen A. Smith famously exploded on air, claiming Ohtani's reliance on a translator was somehow bad for the face of American baseball. But that noise pales in comparison to the shockwaves sent through the league by the fine print in his massive new contract. We are talking about a specific key man clause that lets him rip up the deal and walk away the second owner Mark Walter or baseball ops president Andrew Friedman leave the organization. This unprecedented power move has fans and analysts losing their minds, arguing that it gives a single player way too much leverage over the entire franchise's future. By now, you are probably wondering what all this talent and controversy translates to in cold hard cash. Buckle up, because we are diving into the bank account of a legend who just inked one of the most astronomical paydays the sports world has ever witnessed. With that mega deal in place, his net worth is set to skyrocket into the stratosphere in 2026 and beyond. But even before the big bucks fully hit his calculated career earnings to date, already sit at a staggering $42,269,259